about a wonderful possible. No. At best, I hope I can get a job, keep my mouth shut and duck, and don't want to get hurt out here. Right? But who wants to fix the world? There's a few people. Right? Who wants to save the whales? Who wants to plant millions of trees to clean up the air? Right? Who wants to do that? A few people. Actually, it's probably millions. The only thing is they're not working together. That's our job. Okay. Next thing, as we say, College of Islamic Movement Studies. We have to teach that as a course. Strategic management under conditions of repression. How to thrive, grow, and develop under oppressive conditions. We've already done that. Now we have to show the people how and teach them. One of the last things, of course, Department of Strategic and Islamic Studies. See, the reason we got it good is because they don't think black people even think like this. They don't. But we've survived under maximum United States Zionist pressure and attack for decades without a scratch, without paranoia, without becoming a tool, an evil result of the system. We come out with moral imagination. It's kind of like Dr. King. Moral imagination is when your imagination tends toward good and it tends toward ethics. So our politics has to have an ethical view or an ethical base. One of the other things that we've been working on from the 90s, Dr. Khalid Siddiqui's time, Muslim Parliament. What does that mean? Non-territorial government, right here in the West. Non-territorial government means we're not going to have the territory of the United States, but a non-territorial government means that the people will be able to manage their own affairs. Although they don't control the physical land, they control themselves to the best of our ability. Three things that we want to mention. Nonviolent resistance. It's the core of our activity. Nonviolent resistance means that you resist the system. But we don't just resist the system, we have an alternative to the system. What's our alternative? If the churches, if the mosques, if the synagogues do the work that they were originally designed to do, homelessness, right? Alcohol and drug treatment centers. Suppose, look at all the big giant churches we have here in D.C., all over the black neighborhood. Suppose our churches were homeless centers. What's strange about that? Would you turn the heat off just a minute? But of course, you're going to have to click it right back on in a minute. But, okay. Let's visualize Jesus, since we're talking about churches, and homelessness. Who was Jesus associated with? Jesus' mission: heal the sick, raise the dead, and cast out devils. Who did Jesus hang out with? All the fishermen, Mary Magdalene, He hung out with the prostitutes. He hung out with the poor. Sermon on the Mount. The meek will inherit the earth, right? Jesus did not spend his time with the fat cats. So if we say the churches should become homeless centers, all we would be saying is that the church now will readjust the mission of the original biblical Jesus Christ, right? Now, who's that a big shock to? That's a shock to the preachers and the parishioners. Because all our big middle-class Negro churches, do you think the people want homeless people living all in a sanctuary? Of course they don't. They want to be as far away from the poor as they can get. But if they were to return to the mission of Jesus Christ, they would welcome the poor. If the churches welcome the poor, if the churches, remember now, in the old days, the government didn't do those problems. In the old days, the churches, the religious institutions, was the social network. And when it's talking about the mentally ill, well, I put them in the penitentiary. Jesus' job was to heal the sick, raise the dead, and cast out devils. Casting out devils is the mental framework, right? So when a man came to Jesus and he was crazy, Jesus laid hands on him and took the psychological trauma he was in and put him into a group of pigs. I don't know if y'all remember that. And then the pigs ran off the cliff. So that means the mental institutions, it's the work of the church, the Masjid, and the synagogue. The only thing is, we've all forgotten that. Do you think the Muslims over here and over there want the poor and the meek with them? No. But Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his masjid in Al-Madinah, Ali Sufa, all the people, Abu Hurairah and all the people, they lived in the masjid. And who took care of them financially? Uthman, Abu Bakr, Umar, the wealthy Muslims took care of the poor Muslims. Naturally. If you don't think about it, you would never realize that's what was going on. But the masjid was a homeless shelter. It was. You can read it all the time. And the people waited for charity to come in for themselves to eat. That's because the people had to feed them. They were poor. Right? How many of the Muslims want the poor and the hungry with all them fleas coming into the masjid? You have fleas all over the masjid. You're not clean enough to come into the masjid. That's what they tell you. And then when all the poor is looking as black and brown folks, blacker and browner than they are, they definitely don't want you in there then. Because that's not their picture of America. Right? All our religion has the answer right there. Drug treatment centers, let the government steal all their money and keep it for themselves. Let them all get fat and rich, go somewhere else. We'll do it ourselves. That's what nonviolent resistance is. Most people think nonviolent resistance is running their mouth. We saying nonviolent resistance to us is we are nonviolent against the government. We're saying you go on about your business. We'll take care of the poor. We'll take care of the drug centers, right? We'll take care of the homeless. Because that's the mission of the religion. The hadith on neighbors in Islam is so heavy that the Sahaba said they're going to become a part, the neighbor will become a part of our inheritance. Remember that? It's prohibited for a Muslim, for your neighbor to be hungry, and you just got a big pot of stuff steaming all over. You know, you can't let that smell blow over to your neighbor, and your neighbor's over there hungry. And that pot is thick, real thick and ready to eat. No, you go get just a pitcher of water and loosen it up a little bit if you have to. And take some to your neighbor, because it's prohibited for you to go to bed all full and your neighbor's over there smelling all that food. If you read the hadith, you're not supposed to do that. All we're saying is we just have to get back to our religion. We don't have to make no bit. So, nonviolent resistance means that we implement our way of life. Leave the government alone. If they want to run over and blow up something, we just keep on doing the best we can. Then when we get strong enough, we'll say, hey man, you got to stop that. Because we're stronger now. Nonviolent transformation. When you do right, you transform yourself. See, our jihad here in America is a spiritual jihad. The government don't like us. They think we want to blow up everything. They stupid. Technically, and I tell them every time I get a chance, I tell them Taz all last week. I say, you guys work for a stupid government. And you're stupid too. You're stupid. Because they done told you to come here and watch me all this time, and every time I get from one plane to another, and using up all that money, and wasting all that time, and all them employees for me. And if I did, because sometimes they ask me, we just want to ask you, do you have a gun? Do I have a gun? So, do y'all search me every time I come here? All the time. Wipe my hand. All the time. Yes. Have you ever found anything? No. Well, now, if I were to bring a gun, and I have a gun on me, I could go to court and I would plead insanity. I say, y'all ran me crazy. They ran me crazy because I know I've been here 500 times. I've been searched 500 times. I know they're going to search me. If I have a gun on me, it's because y'all have ran me crazy and I could beat any case. I said, I could beat any case. So don't y'all do this every time? If I would be stupid enough to bring a gun, I would say I went crazy. They did it to me. That's what y'all did. And I could beat it. In front of a jury, I tell the jury, I'm a good guy. I do this, I do that. And they run me crazy. Right? I bet you I got a good chance. I could beat it in D.C. with a colored jury if there's any left. The key word is transformation. Nonviolent resistance means that we have alternative systems to fix society. So resistance is an active resistance, not a passive resistance. Nonviolent transformation. We want to change the world, but we want to change the world and our environment through good deeds, good behaviors, and good attitudes. And finally, nonviolent transcendence. Transcendence is when you go above and beyond all the things that used to hold you down. And I think if we stick with what we have from Quran and the Sunnah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help us in this endeavor. The last thing that I would like to mention is that what we call the new frontier. New frontier for us is like Sabiqun liberation movement or Sabiqun liberation organization. So we want to liberate ourselves from inferiority complexes. We want to liberate ourselves from impossibility thinking that we can't do it, we're not good enough, we just can't make the grade. So we want a liberation movement. We want to liberate first our minds that we've been fed that inferiority, that impossibility, rebuilding self-esteem. Esteem is just, to me, is to weigh and to measure. So we want to weigh and measure ourselves as valuable. New frontier, we call it star tracking the system. That means go beyond where anybody else has gone. Right now, that's what we're doing. We start tracking the system. Yeah. Every barrier that they put up, we're going to break through it. Everything that they said you can't do, we're going to do it. You can't have a Negro human potential movement in America. We won't allow that. Well, you better get ready, boy, because we're already doing that. And if you keep on messing with us, we're going to do you like we've been doing you for the last 30 years. We're going to slap the urine out of you. Or history is going to do it. Because your bad luck comes from how you treat your loyal, friendly citizen, us. So we're just telling you, if you want no bad luck, who's having the bad luck, us or you? Big boy, right? Who's having the bad luck? America, the system, not the people, or us. So, the last thing is that what we call tazkiyah bil nafs. It's a spiritual jihad. We know the people think that we want to fight, and this is insanity. The Quran, Hadith, history has its unlimited potential, and we have to use that. And using that, this is a spiritual development. It's a jihad, but it's a spiritual jihad. Why would you want a spiritual jihad anyway? Because you want to use weapons that your enemy is not accustomed to. And what is the system not accustomed to? Spirituality. Right? Suppose we say physicality. Would we be out of sorts and would they be in pocket? Of course they would. You're going to physically confront you. So thank you very much. Boy, we've been praying for this. What they would say. But if we have a physical confrontation, a physical clash, I mean a spiritual clash, a spiritual based on moral imagination, right? We got a great chance. All right, inshallah. Thank you very much. We got it made. So, that's why we say it. Spiritual jihad. Is it a jihad? Yes, it is. What kind of jihad? Spiritual, ethical, moral. And therefore, we can't lose. So, are there any questions, any comments And remember, don't pay any attention to all that stuff you hear about Iran getting ready to fall apart. And before we close, are there any questions about the recent situation in the Islamic Republic or Syria or anything? Any questions at all?
I saw somebody ask, are there any recent As-Sabiqun?
Yeah, someone did ask that.
Okay. That is the question of the century, because that's exactly what we're doing right now. We're beginning to write again now. This is a big deal because there's one period of time when we didn't have the time nor the facility to be writing. So it was basically a lot of action. And now, in order to educate, in order to teach, in order to train, we're going to do the same thing we did a decade past back. All these things we talk about, we're organizing it already, and we'll be writing, and we'll be out with new As-Sabiquns on a semi-regular basis. Each one at first will almost be a book, because see, the part of the transition and transformation, and call it the evolution or revolution, is to do like those people of the past did. In order to educate people, you have to present it as a structured, workable policy and platform. So therefore, speaking is one thing, but writing is another. So anyone that remember those As-Sabiquns of the past, that this period of development will be writings. Another thing that is important, you know, when you write, you have to visualize, dream, all that stuff, but you also have to collect material. You have to research your own notes and everything. And you have to put forth a clear, concise picture. Because the written word cannot be haphazard, you know what I mean? You can't go on and on and on and be repetitive. You have to sit down and write it out. You have to collect tons of notes, tons of research. Then you have to put all of that together. Then you have to edit that. You have to go through it 2-3 times, you know, to check it and double check it and recheck it. To us, this is a beautiful period. We've been looking forward to this period. Yes, get ready for our As-Sabiquns. As-Sabiquns is on the way, inshallah. And As-Sabiqun Liberation Organization, As-Sabiqun Liberation Movement, that's As-Sabiqun 2018. That's As-Sabiqun 2020 vision. We did a wonderful job in the past, but we got a bigger job. What I say this time, we going up, like you know, in the old days, the trapeze artists and all that, they had a big net on them. We're going up this time without nets. Yeah, we ain't no safety. We ain't looking, because we got to get big. We have to, when we look at the world, if nobody's doing strategic management, if nobody in America, with all their people, is developing a college of strategic and Islamic studies, Did we have to do that? It sounds as deep as it is. And when we get off into this one, we're going to be on the road with God's help. Yes. So are there any more questions or comments? If not, thank you very much. Aqula Kali Hada. Astaghfirullah li wa lakum.